This is game number 1 of a best of 3. Go for SC2 Monday is the tournament, the first one of September, on the 1st of September. My name is Madals, and we have spawning down in the lower left hand position of Nimbus, the purple Terran player, Optimus. And his opponent, up to the top right, the red Zerg, also playing for Team Acer. It is Nerchio. So, little update on where these two got through the bracket. Nerchio was able to beat Monty, and Optimus was able to beat Lilla Cannon in the round of 16. So thus they are here. Everything up until this point has been a best of 1. Also, I mentioned that nobody had followed the channel yet, but two awesome people have. Natter King and Mistram, thank you very much for following. Hopefully we'll get some more subs. Of course, 100% of all the sub revenue and sub revenue and donations from Twitch go to putting on more content. So things like the Foreign Hope, big 6-player invitational that I'm putting on. And well, all in all, we know that one of these two is already going to that, and that's Nerchio. He got through the community vote in order to get that spot in the Foreign Hope. It's going to be at least $2,000. I think it's like $2,300 at the moment, thanks to the Indiegogo campaign. So that's all nice. Still, waiting to see what these two are going to do. Nerchio's going hatch first, as expected, up against the Terran. Now, some of you might be sitting here and going, hang on, Madals, why has he built his natural out there when there's this nice natural? Well, let me tell you wise words. It is because you want creep spread around here. You want to be able to build this up so you can get things like spines up nice and easily. And then you can take this as your third base. Easy peasy easy, basically. So yeah, that's why you grab that. Meanwhile, Optimus, as expected, grabbing down. Actually, no, he hasn't gone for a Reaper. What's he doing? What are you doing, Optimus? What's your plan? What is your dastardly endeavors going to be? Running this Marine up here just in case a little Overlord was coming on an adventure. Not going to be though. Early factory. Okay, that's what Optimus has planned for himself. Just going to be checking. See where his opponent's spawning. Nerchio, on the other hand, just this one patrolling drone. And this is a really smart move to make. Because by putting this drone in here, he's going to be able to easily see if, say, any bunkers were coming down, any Reapers were coming in. And just be able to prepare a slight amount earlier until the safety of the creep spread comes in from this hatchery. SCV now going to be able to get the scout down. No, doesn't actually see that the third has been taken yet, and that is because there has been no creep spread. On the way back out, should be able to identify. There we go. Sees the creep, so knows that that base has been taken. Of course, behind this we do have natural base finally coming on in. It's been delayed quite a bit to allow for this factory to be produced instead. Quick little drop down the factory now, chilling about quite nicely. A couple of Hellions going to be popping on out. Nerchio, he's got 6 Zerglings out nice and early. This is just in case there was any pressure coming. He hasn't been able to scout yet. This Overlord is going to be the first little indicator of what's to come. The Lings haven't been able to make it up the ramp either, so they're unaware that there is that factory with the reactor, but we'll now see it. Supply Depot just getting up in time, being able to make sure those Lings can't stream on by. Although everything has been seen, Nerchio, of course, knows already by the fact that there's already 2 Hellions coming out with that factory and the reactor that the command center would have been delayed, but sees it with his Overlord as well. Now just busily chucking up a spine crawler. Note the positioning of this. This spine crawler going to be able to guard the ram, going to be able to guard down here. A couple of queens also on their way down. That's just going to help block this up, prevent the Hellions from coming through. And so, again, we're just seeing some really nice control by Nerchio, utilizing a lot of queens early on to prevent himself taking really any damage. And by utilizing this queens, it means that he's able to pump the majority of his lava into drones. And that in itself is going to really help his economy going into the mid-game stages. A couple more Hellions coming across the map now. This takes the count up to 6. There are still more on the way though. What I'm keeping a good eye out for is in case we see an armory get thrown down. Because that would indicate that, really, Optimus was aiming to get these Hellions morphed into Hellbats and use some Marines that he's already pumped quite a few out of in order to apply a bit more pressure. Overlord, unfortunately, not going to be able to get too much further, nor are these Hellions really going to be able to achieve much. A couple of Lings finally going to get roasted on down. Just a little bit of damage early on. Scouting worker was killed and a couple of lings now going down. So a very passive game at the moment. Neither player really losing too much or having to worry too much about what they're doing. Although that's probably going to change pretty quick because Optimus, he's got 8 Hellions out on the field. And he's going to be aiming to do as much damage as he possibly can with these. Needs to be a little bit aware of the Spine Crawler. These Queens as well. He just can't get up into the natural or the third. Although the downside to this for Nerchio is it means that, unfortunately, he misses a couple of injects in order to keep his security there. The Queen popping out though, that should be fine. His third base is nearly done as well. Also adding in a Baneling nest as well as that lair, so going for a very standard composition at the moment. Zergling, Baneling, probably into Mutalisks. Meanwhile, over on Optimus' side, he's adding in the third command center, adding in a few more barracks, as well as happily researching away at Stim. But the Hellions really are the focal point of his army and his early game plan, and frankly they haven't done enough. No worker kills and just 4 Zerglings getting taken down. Really not the adequate amount of damage that you want to do with such a big investment early on. But it's not the end of the world for Optimus because the Hellions, they're still alive. They haven't been taken down yet, which means the damage potential is still there if they do find an opening to come and attack. Few Banelings morphing on through now. They don't have speed, but they are going to be on creep, and that's going to help them try and get some connections if these Hellions were to misstep. Otherwise, back at home, Optimus just adding in his armory now. Can look to morph those into Hellbats. Adding in a few more barracks, so isn't going to be going mech. Nerchio, he's pretty comfortable in what he's seen, though. He knows that this natural base is mining away. Hasn't really bothered coming to check here too much. They're pushing now, going to get some damage off against these Hellions. A couple of them already getting picked off, but there we go. A morph into Hellbats, of course. That means that they're able to be healed by Medivacs too, making them a lot more potent in sustained fights. Couple of Banelings trying to waddle on here. The Spine Crawler will get a nice takedown, but most of those Hellbats are able to survive for the moment. The Spine staying up though, additional Zerglings and Banelings coming onto the field. Starts to make things more tough. Optimus going to go for the drop up in towards the natural base. This is a cute little move, but Nerchio, he's well up onto that. Pulls the Banelings, pulls the Zerglings up into position to be able to defend. Got the 1-1 upgrades. 3/4 of the way completed. Not too much else really going on down. Otherwise, yeah, I'd say this is a pretty normal game at this stage. Very minimal losses. Spire just on its way out now for Nerchio as well, so he is continuing on as expected into that path of Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisks. He's going to have a decent upgrade lead too. These 1-1 upgrades are nearly done, whereas 1-1 for Optimus are unfortunately only about a quarter of a way through. Couple of Marines edging on forward. Looking for that Overseer. Might be able to get a little bit of damage down. Overseer frantically running away and is going to be able to escape. Remember, with the armory, these Hellions can become Hellbats. There'll be tanky units at the front, keeping these Marines at the back safe. Could be interesting to see how that starts trading through. We've got a lot more Banelings morphing in. They're going to come bounding on down. They can't roll yet. No centrifugal hooks on its way, so no Baneling speed is available for the moment. But now here we come forward. Marine's going to start clearing out some of this creep spread. Nerchio needs to get some good Baneling engagements. Spreading those lings nicely, pushing on through. The Hellbats are in position to get some nice shots down, but in comes the Bane train. Is it even going to be needed? Looks like no, it won't. The Speedlings alone doing a heck of a lot of damage. 11 Mutalisks, the Infestation Pit coming down behind, and now Nerchio is ready to go for the counterattack. This third base of Optimus, it looks a little bit vulnerable. Nerchio running straight on down there. A Widow Mine wants to get a miracle hit, but I don't think it's going to be able to achieve it. Shouldn't need to though, either. Oh, Banelings, Banelings, be careful, there's a mine! There's a mine, Baneling! Don't all detonate, in come the Banelings, they're going to get some connections. A couple of those SCVs getting picked off easily up towards the main base. A few of the Marines were taken down. In total, 14 workers killed there by Nerchio, which gives him a 77 to 44 worker lead, which is very healthy, especially when we factor in the fact that he's got a 4th base coming on through. He's happily up at these 6 gases, making sure that he's keeping everything ticking along nicely back at home while he's putting on this aggression. Optimus, he's lacking splash. That's kind of the big fault in his plan at the moment. With the Hellbats dead, he's got a handful of Widow Mines, and that, my friends, is not going to be the most efficient way to deal with a lot of Zerglings and Banelings. You just need some splash damage there to deal with the Banelings quickly. The Mutalisks, however, they've been discovered, seen, spotted, taken a couple of pot shots at them, but all in all, they are able to get away, pull on back. They also see them move out here. What I'm finding quite interesting is the Nerchio is grabbing down the Enduring Locusts upgrade. So it's going to be looking to grab a couple of Swarm Hosts. That could be really cool because his opponent doesn't actually have any siege tanks. The mines quickly taken out, but a lot of the Lings have unfortunately died nonetheless. The Mutalisk's going to be forced to retreat, at least until the Banelings come on through to reinforce. The Mutalisk's aiming to get a lot more damage down onto these medevacs, doing a very nice job of that. But the medevac count still looking fairly healthy, up at 5. Backing out now, Nerchio, trying to just get the good engagement position. Positioning really is key if you're using these small armies. Shot comes down from those Widow Mines. The Mutalisk's able to pick up a couple of these medevacs already. The other 3 trying to escape away. Reinforcing Marines should be able to save them. A couple of those very, very low, but the medevac count is staying pretty constant, and that's with the resupplies coming on through. So nice work overall by Nerchio there, who is trading a lot more cost effectively than his opponent, which is obviously going to be a very beneficial thing as the game goes on, as Nerchio continues to take a further base advantage. Optimus though, he hasn't really taken too much damage yet. The 14 workers killed is frustrating, but he does have 3 mules to make up for that. So overall, their economies aren't too far apart as long as those mules keep coming down. Obviously, Nerchio is going to be ahead in the gas by quite a long way. But predominantly, Optimus isn't too reliant on that gas count at the moment. He's got a decent amount banked up. It's the minerals that he really needs. In addition to those minerals, the upgrades are about to also be coming in for Optimus. He's got the 2-2 upgrades finished now, which means that he's leveled out that upgrade count with Nerchio. Nerchio, he hasn't started 3-3 because he doesn't have a hive yet, but he has started the +1 and the hive coming on through. The Swarm Hosts, well, this is what's going to be quite hard to engage with. The Swarm Hosts are just this relentless stream. Going to start becoming a bit of a problem. The Banelings rolling on 4. They're going to get some very good connections up against the Marines there. The Mutalisks now focusing down the medevacs, trying to pick off anything and everything that they can. The Locusts coming on through. A couple more Mutas have died there. 7 in total so far this game. And that's something that maybe Nerchio isn't best pleased about. May want to try and avoid that if at all possible. Nerchio though, still getting some good damage down with these Locusts. The next wave about to come popping on out. And as I mentioned earlier, without the siege tanks, there isn't really a response to a high number of Locusts on the field. They're just going to start chipping away, dealing some nice damage. The Banelings, they're going to get the burst. They're going to actually be able to take down these Marines nice and easily, very quickly and efficiently. First tank now coming out into the field. This is pretty much required now for Optimus against the 9 Swarm Hosts that are already on the field. Nerchio though, he's just quite happy chilling here. He's about to have +1 kicking in. He's adding in Adrenal Glands. He's adding in another Macro Hatchery. So all in all, he's in a very nice spot, counter-attacking with some Mutalisks, getting just a couple more worker kills. Although with the positioning of these Marines, these Mutalisks able to achieve a heck of a lot. So many worker kills coming down. The production facilities getting camped very nicely, preventing any reinforcements. Drop though also coming down, but it's not going to be enough. GG, and Nerchio will take game number 1 of this best of 3.